The GMA cover story now on breast cancer screening. The United States Preventive Services Task Force finalizing their recommendation that all women should begin receiving them by the time they hit 40. This morning, the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force announcing their final recommendation on screening for breast cancer, suggesting all women with average risk begin screening with mammograms at the age of 40 and continue every other year until the age of 74.
The latest science clearly shows that by screening every other year beginning at age 40, that we can save even more lives. In fact, up to nearly 20% more lives can be saved from breast cancer.
Prior recommendations from the task force said women should start screening no later than age 50, but more women are being diagnosed with breast cancer at younger ages.
This national data showed that since from 2015 to 2019, there was an increase in breast cancer diagnoses in women ages 40 to 49. And in fact, it increased about 2% every year.
Olga Arcila says a mammogram at 45 saved her life.
They told me that I had breast cancer. I couldn't believe it. I am a very healthy person, very active, very positive.
Following a double mastectomy and 16 rounds of chemotherapy, she's now helping her Latin community stay informed about the importance of mammograms.
Very important to start at the age of 40, but if the cancer is in your family, you have to do it earlier.
So important. So we want to bring back ABC News Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Jennifer Ashton to break this down. I'm so glad you're here. 240,000 women a year are getting breast cancer.
Right.
This is so important.
It's very important, and these headlines and these recommendations are always confusing and controversial because not every professional organization agrees. Part of the motivation with them changing the guidelines from 50 to 40 is because we've been watching rates of breast cancer, particularly in younger women, 40 to 49, go up about 2% every single year. And those women tend to have more aggressive types of breast cancer. So, for the historical context, it's important to remember that back in 2009, this very same group, the U.S. Preventive Service Task Force, changed the age and made it 50. Now, over that last period of time, we've been watching more cases, more aggressive cases, more deaths. That was the concern then. That's why people today are applauding this change. But there are still those people, and I am one of them medically, who thinks that screening a woman every 2 years is not the proper interval. So we haven't heard the end of it.
Well, and the recommendation is now also different from the American Cancer Societies. And as a patient, this is so confusing.
Yeah, it's confusing. And also remember that these recommendations pertain to women at average risk. The majority of women who are diagnosed with breast cancer were average until the day they get that diagnosis. So also remember that mammography is the gold standard. It is not perfect. It misses some breast cancers, particularly in young women with dense breasts. So ultrasound is often used. MRI is recommended for women at high risk. But the bottom line is you want to talk to your healthcare provider, and particularly women who are Black or afraid of getting screened or don't have the same access. This will hopefully save lives.
And I talked to my doctor. My mom is a breast cancer survivor. I did my first mammogram at 38 as a result.
That's right.
After that conversation.
It's usually 10 years younger than your first degree relative was diagnosed.
Dr. Jen Ashton, as always, thank you.